Hi, everybody. It's the Tuesday night Spitball. How are you, Ben?
Good, mate. Very good.
It's good to be back at the desk after a couple of well and truly pre-recorded videos. Been away for a couple of weeks. Let's just throw some Spitballs. I'm going to go first.
Do it.
All right.
Do it to it.
Do you want to film it or no? We won't film it. Like, we do the phone. It's just too much.
People can take our word for what it's hitting. It goes so fast, I don't know if you can actually see it in the thing anyway. Whoop.
Damn it. Jesus.
You got to go peel that off, mate, before it damages your Godfather box set slipcase.
Maybe
non-plastic. Or do you want me to get up again?
No. Maybe that will encourage me to upgrade.
Upgrade to the Blu-ray because it is only filthy SD.
I like the box though.
That is the shame. A lot of the time, I find like the
upgrades are inferior in quality of the packaging.
Yeah, like the. I can't bring this up a lot, but Kingdom of Heaven, they've got the director's cut is available on Blu-ray with 0 extra features, whereas though it is on one disc, which is lovely, whereas the DVD comes in a lovely digipack with 4 discs because it's got both cuts and it has a boatload of extras, including a commentary. Although it's one of those. I think it's one of those shitty commentaries where it's like different people talking at different times, like they're not in the same room together.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
we've talked about Godfather verbatim. Like,
I think it actually is just Ridley Scott doing the commentary by himself. But
let's just
boring as bat
skip over the Godfather. We've done an episode dedicated to it. We've landed on it in Spitball before. I just did an interview with Clayton Jacobson, and he talks about it. So I think we've exhausted that. Sorry, Keith.
I think Keith would only care if he's talking about a Godfather. He doesn't need to listen to me talk about it.
Keith being a former co-host for anyone that doesn't know.
Because he'd be like, Ben, has Ben even seen part 3? What the hell? I'm listening to anything that guy's got to say. All right. Well, before that fell on the ground, it did hit Ghoulies.
Well, let's talk about Ghoulies. Well, we know that this is the film that traumatized me as a kid. We talked about that on the last video.
We have indeed. Well, we can talk about what's next to Ghoulies because it was something.
Goosebumps 2 or Hideaway?
I haven't seen either of those films. I've seen Homefront. That's next to.
We talked about that too.
We talked about that as well.
See, this is the problem with this video is that we're eventually going to land on everything.
On everything, yeah. Yeah.
Let's just go again. Like do over.
Right, do over.
I'm going to use the same Spitball. Imagine if it landed on the same thing.
Just lock it.
I might get you. Oh, Puddle Cruiser, which we've talked about before as well. All right, so
Broken
Puddle Cruiser,
Lizard?
yes. You can choose. It's between Presumed Innocent to the left or Pacific Heights to the right.
Presumed Innocent's an interesting movie. I remember watching that. It is one of the I have a thing about what infidelity in movies. I don't like watching movies with it in specifically it's when women cheat on men.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, whereas when men cheat on women, I couldn't care less. But usually because I couldn't care less about the male characters anyway.
Yeah.
But Presumed Innocent has always been the exception to that rule because I have a massive crutch on Greta Scacchi.
Yeah. Even now, when she was in Palm Beach last year or the year before, I still.
Yeah, I think she's incredibly watchable and very, very attractive. And that movie was.
She was a real bombshell back then. That's a great film. Like we talked off mic earlier about loving LA Law. So LA Law was where it was for me. I was informed by legal TV drama by LA Law, but then that Presumed Innocent came along, and it was the first movie where it was a full-on courtroom drama thriller that I just fell in love with the genre. Like if it's a courtroom drama, I'm in.
You're in.
Yeah, and it's a great one. It's Alan J. Bacala that directed that, I think.
Yeah, who I was always dismayed to learn had nothing to do with Joanne Pacula. It was like I thought they were no.
Yeah, no, he died a few years ago, maybe about 7-8 years ago now. Great film, Harrison Ford, Greta Scacchi. The guy, I don't remember his name, who's passed away that was in The West Wing, is in it. He played the best friend.
John Spencer,
that's it.
Who plays his wife in it?
Yeah.
It's not Anne Archer because she's from Fatal Attraction.
No, it is Anne Archer, I think.
Is it the same?
I think it's Anne Archer.
She basically plays the same role as the...
Let's look that up. I mean, you could pull the video out, but...
Can I pull it down?
You could, if you can reach it or stand up.
I can't stand up. Yeah,
That's
stand
right.
up is a step too far.
We're on camera. All right, let's have a look here. I've got my phone out. So, cast. There we go. Bonnie Bedella. I was going to say Bonnie Bedella, and I thought, no, she's always in that role. It can't be her.
Yeah.
It was.
I love Bonnie Bedella.
Yeah, same here. Oh, Raul Julia, that's right. Great
right.
film. I'm going to watch that again in the next couple of days. Yep.
The one I really want to watch again is Eyewitness.
Eyewitness. Who's that
Or
one?
is it Eyewitness? Witness?
I think that sounds about right, but I don't
You know the
recall.
Harrison Ford one where he goes to hide out in Amish country? with
No,
the
Witness.
kid? Witness.
Yeah, Peter
Just
Weir.
Witness.
Yeah. That is a good film.
Although, like, I remember having some issues with it, but I can't remember what they were now. So I'm like,
Lucas Haas was in that.
Lucas Haas and
Danny Glover.
I can't remember the guy who plays the kind of rival Amish guy. Whose name I can't remember. He's like a Swedish actor, and he's in a bunch of stuff, and he's really good. Like I've always liked that guy in stuff. He looks. I think he's the guy with the main terrorist that works for Hans Gruber in Die Hard.
I think I know the one you mean.
But he's just got slightly shorter hair in this. But he always plays that kind of role.
Yeah, we've said this before, but that great period for Harrison Ford because of Frantic and Witness, and that was a great time for him to be making those sort of movies. Yeah,
and Working Girl, what a classic Working Girl.
It is.
Love that movie.
Watch that.
I love it. Love it.
Oh, he's going over the shoulder. Whoa, he's gone. That went low. Oh, good one.
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Let's talk about Star Wars. Or we could talk about Smokey and the Bandit, which is getting a nice 4K release soon.
4K? I think I just bought the bloody Blu-ray.
That pack has all, what, 5? No, 7.
Movie Outlaw Collection.
It's got all 7 Smokey and the Bandit movies. I bet you didn't know there were 7.
I did not. Although we did talk about it in the franchise.
So
in that trivia question, I think with which
the only one that Hal Needham didn't direct was number 3.
Right.
And they've all got what's his name? Jeff? No, who's the bandit on the front cover? Who's the young bandit? Peter Krause. No, he's in
Peter
it.
Krause.
That one there is, isn't it? In the middle.
Brian Krause.
Brian Krause. There we go.
Peter Krause.
Oh, Peter Krause is from 6 Feet Under, isn't he?
No, Peter Krause. No, that's the same guy. But Peter Krause is the film critic.
I know that Peter Krause.
But Brian Krause is the actor from Sleepwalkers and.
Yeah, but then you've got the guy from 6 Feet Under. Let's have a look. You keep talking.
I know that guy you're talking about. The older brother.
There's a nice plug for old Peter. You're welcome, mate. Okay, silence falls upon the desk whilst I look this up.
I'm ready to say
Peter Krause. I was right.
Is it Peter Krause?
Yes.
So Smoking the Bandit is Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, Jerry Reed, and Jackie Gleason.
Of course.
Number 2 is Burt Reynolds, Jackie Gleason, Jerry Reed, Dom DeLuise, and Sally Field.
Classic.
Part 3 is Jackie Gleason
and
Paul Williams, Pat McCormick, and Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed plays the bandit.
With
a 30-second cameo from Burt Reynolds at the end.
Reynolds, yeah. So in Bandit Goes Country.
Yep.
Which I'm assuming.
Then
is
there's
part
Bandit.
Is Brian Bloom, Brian Krause.
Brian Bloom is who I was trying to think of.
Directed by Hal Needham, and then Bandit.
Yep.
Is Brian Bloom and Brian Krause again.
Yep.
Then Bandit, Beauty and the Bandit.
Yep. Bandit's Angels or something.
Is Brian Bloom and Brian Krause.
Yeah.
No one else is. I don't know why they're not listing any. No one else is big enough. But then it's the same with the third one. But clearly, from the back of the disc, there's Kathy Ireland pops up in one.
Yep.
Elizabeth. What's her name? Elizabeth. Thing of
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Berkeley.
Elizabeth Berkley is in it. So why? Like, surely they were big enough to appear.
Well, the funny thing,
name in the credits.
Clearly, the final 4 were made for television, but they're revisionist. So they tell the story of a younger bandit, but in contemporary setting.
Right.
You know.
Oh, there's a disc missing.
Is there though?
1, 2.
Yep.
3, 4.
So how
1,
you got
2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7.
6, 7.
They've
So they just
got an extra spot in the disc tray.
unprofessional.
What a riveting segment this has been, because none of that would have been on camera, really.
There it is.
Good throw. I'm glad you landed on that. So,
Yeah.
I'm sure someone out there has learnt something that there's more than 3 Smokey and the Bandits. There is
I
footage.
don't like Burt Reynolds. I'm just going to put it out there.
No, that's fair enough. I love those films though, the first 3. I'm a particular fan of number 3. Hey, you just had your go. Hold your horses, mister.
I just dumped. That's my drinking water too. It's not even the water.
No, but so a lot of people may not know that Smokey and the Bandit 3 was originally Jackie Gleason playing both roles.
Right.
Of the Bandit and Smokey.
It was going to be like a Lee Marvin in Cat Ballou.
Kinda. And the original screening did not test well with audiences, so they got Jerry Reed back to do the Bandit stuff. But
because when you're hot, you're hot.
Apparently, there's a cut out there of Smokey is the Bandit, which was what it was originally called.
Right.
There is a still shot from publicity shoots of Jackie Gleason in the Bandit clothes with the mustache. It's hilarious. But no footage exists to our knowledge. Like they reckon there is a cut, but it's never been found.
Right.
Yeah. And Hal Needham has, nothing to do with that one, so his estate is like...
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway. There you go.
Amazing.
Next
I
one.
do love Jerry Reed.
I'm going to go down low. I don't think I've hit the carpet a few times.
Ooh.
Oh, what did that land on?
I think that landed on either Mr. Brooks, Geisha, or Mission... Is it just the Mission?
Yes. So you got Memoirs of a Geisha, The Mission, and Mr. Brooks. I guess Mr. Brooks. Did that come before or after Dexter? Have you seen this one? It's the
serial killer is
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner is in Dane Cook's head, or is it Dane Cook is in?
I don't remember that aspect. I do remember he's like a family man, and he's got a secret basement under the house that's full of torture devices. And
I thought he had the voice in his head was. He had voices in his head telling him to kill, and it was played by Dane Cook.
Could be. I do remember voices in the head. I don't remember it being another voice. But regardless, it's
I don't think I've only seen the trailer.
Similar premise to Dexter because I think he had a moral code.
Yeah,
He was
right.
only murdering bad people. And
Yeah.
I remember enjoying it. I enjoyed it enough to actually buy the DVD, but I haven't watched it since I first saw it.
I remember when it came out at the video store, but I don't remember much more than that because it wasn't...
A bit of a revival film as well.
For Costner, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he hasn't been in something for a while.
Since Dragonfly.
Yeah. That's what he was doing at the time. He was doing weird, for the love of the game and stuff. This is a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, I know. But the reason I chose to talk about that one is just so it reminds me to watch it soon.
Again.
Soon, yep.
I haven't seen Memoirs of a Geisha or The Mission. So
Sam Mendes produced by Spielberg with the Geisha one. I quite like that.
I do like Zhang Ziyu.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go down the bottom as well. Oh, that split in two, but that got Chinatown.
Did get Chinatown.
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 Stay out of Chinatown.
An amazing film. It is.
Jake Giddies.
It's the best.
With a sequel 20 years later in The Two Jakes.
The Two Jakes. There was going to be a third one, which the script exists, but the film never got made.
Right.
Because of the failure of Two Jakes, which was directed by Jack Nicholson.
I mean, it was just a bit too late.
Well, not only too late, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I've never gone to watch the second one.
See,
I really liked Chinatown.
Back in the day, Keith and I used to talk about Chinatown all the time. We'd hold that up to the same regard that he'd hold The Godfather and all these films, and we'd always talk about it. And I got excited when I saw the Two Jakes on sale for $2. Yeah. I am buying that, and I am watching it tonight because
Two Jakes for $2.
Yeah, and I watched it.
It's $1 a Jake.
And you know me, I'm very generous with bad films. I'm like, I don't care how bad this is. I'm going to enjoy it because
as long as there's got a couple of good bits.
We're back in that universe. I'm just happy to catch up with the character. But I tell you what, it is shocking. It's like watching Mr. Magoo. It's just Have you got floaties in your water?
No, I just was looking at myself on the camera. Do I want this captured on film?
Tell you what,
it's the water equivalent of the 5-second rule. I know the 5-second rule exists, but only in private.
It's true. All right. Well, how about we call it a wrap there because we've gone long enough, and then we'll just try and think about what kind of video we're going to do for Thursday night.